When did playing dumb get you exactly what you wanted? I was born in Boston, but my mom grew up in Montreal, and she made sure I learned French from the time I could talk. At home, she'd cook while giving me instructions in French, and I'd help her while picking up new words. Summers with my cousins in Quebec helped me become fluent, even though I don't look the part with my blonde hair and freckles. Most colleagues who have heard I can speak it assume I barely know the language. The tension began the day Mr. Moreau returned our draft reports. When he reached my office, he didn't just hand the report back. "Axel," he said, shaking his head, "we spent weeks on this client proposal. This draft? It's embarrassing." I took the folder. "I thought I understood the brief," I said quietly, but once I started writing, I got lost in the details. That's when he muttered in French, loud enough for anyone nearby to hear, "Mon Dieu, ce garçon a la cervelle d'un escargot." My God, this guy has the brain of a snail. I looked at the file to hide my expression. When I turned to the next page, he added on, "Même un singe pourrait écrire mieux que ça." Even a monkey could write better than this. A few colleagues glanced over, snickering, not understanding a single word but getting the tone. After the distraction, I focused back on my report. He finished with a directive. "Tomorrow, you will stay late to rewrite this under my supervision." After work, I rushed to the break room where Elise, head of our internal communications team, was already reviewing her notes. Her jaw dropped. "He really said all that? In French?" "Yeah," I said. "He thinks I don't understand him. I know I get it a lot, but I mean Axel is a very common name in France. That's awful." She thought for a moment and leaned closer, her eyes serious. "You need to report that. HR would have a field day with the verbal harassment. If you gather proof, your boss won't ignore it." "What if he denies it?" I asked. "That's why you record it. No one can argue against their own words." The next day, I came prepared. I slipped my phone into my pocket, recording discreetly. My heart raced as I pretended to review the report. At the end of our shift, the office cleared, leaving just me and Mr. Moreau. He came up to me and dropped a fresh set of pages in front of me. "Rewrite this now," he said, leaning over my desk. I picked up my pen, making deliberate pauses and hesitations. He groaned, "Seigneur, il est plus lent qu'une tortue blessée." Lord, he's slower than an injured turtle. When I submitted my intentionally wrong draft, he gritted his teeth, letting out another insult. "C'est comme parler à un mur." It's like talking to a wall. I could tell my plan was working with each new insult. "Un enfant de 5 ans ferait mieux." A 5-year-old could do better. "Quel désastre. Il est perdu. Un vrai fardeau." What a disaster. He's hopeless. A real burden. I moved away from wrong reports and started asking random tidbits that were vaguely relevant to the topic. I even asked intentionally naive questions, drawing his full fury out. The recording captured everything. The next morning, I went to both of our boss. "I need to report an incident with Mr. Moreau," I said. After explaining the events that had occurred, he looked up with concern. "Do you have evidence?" my boss asked. "Yes," I replied. "I have a recording of his behavior." His face steadied. "All right, send me a copy and I will run it past HR. Once we have a plan of action, I'll set up a meeting with you both." Later in the conference room, Mr. Moreau sat across from my boss, arms folded smugly. "Axel has brought serious accusations," my boss said, frowning. "Mr. Moreau, he says you've been insulting him." "Insults?" Mr. Moreau chuckled. "Nonsense. I push my team. Some mistake discipline for cruelty. Isn't that right, Axel?" I calmly pulled my phone from my pocket. "No, you've been insulting me, and I have proof." The recording played, each French insult followed by my clear translation. My boss's eyes narrowed as the words filled the room. When it ended, silence hung heavy. "Brain of a snail? A burden?" my boss said, voice like steel. "Mr. Moreau, do you deny these words?" Mr. Moreau stammered. "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," my boss interrupted. "You thought you could hide behind another language and humiliate an employee you were supposed to mentor. Effective immediately, you're suspended pending a full investigation." Mr. Moreau's face drained of color. "But enough. Pack your things. Now." For the first time, he looked small. He muttered in French under his breath as he left. The following week, a new manager took over.